Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, dear students of المناهج schools, grade 12. Our English lesson today is a revision, which is going to be revision 3 for the final exam. We are going to revise grammar points in module 1, which is unit 1 and 2. Okay, we're going to start with the page number 9 in your English book. We're going to also answer some of the questions at the end of the module on page 28. So let's start by revising quickly, a quick revision for these points of grammar. We have in unit 1 present simple and present progressive. We're gonna go and remind you, present simple, we should only remember two things about present simple. When we use it for habitual actions and facts. Let's read some of the points here about using the present simple. Present simple is used for general truth, for future actions related to timetables and programs, to refer to the plot of a book, in sports commentaries, in exclamatory sentences with here and there. So if you have these words or ideas, you should use the present simple, which is formed by using the verb 1 or verb 2. Verb 1, if it is singular, we add s to the verb. If it is a plural, only the verb 1 without adding s. Okay, the second subject was in unit 1 was the present progressive. It is used in these points for temporary states. Temporary means mu'aqqat. For example, you have something for a week in your work and you do it only for this week. That is temporary, mu'aqqat. Also, the second point for situations which are changing or developing around the present time. If you have a certain things, especially about business, about economic, about the weather forecast, when you want to go for that, you use the present progressive. Also, with always and these words constantly and continually to express annoyance. Annoyance, انزعاج. If you want to speak about annoyance from anybody, that this is always, you use the present progressive. Only in this context. The present progressive, we form the verb in the present progressive by using verb to be and is are plus verb ing. We are also gonna see some exceptions for these points. We have stative and non-stative verbs. We have these kind you should know when you deal about the present. That some verbs, we can't add them ing. You should know these groups. The following groups of verbs express states, not actions. So when the verb is not action, you shouldn't give it ing. Okay? These groups, verbs of the senses, see, hear, feel, taste, smell. These verbs, we can't use them when we are talking about senses in the progressive form. Verbs of emotions and preferences, I like, I hate, I want, you can't use them in the progressive. Verbs of perception, belief, and knowledge, like the example, for example, know, believe, remember, etc. Also, verbs of ownership, mulkiya, like have, possess, own, I own my car. Okay, you can't use the progressive in these. And the last one, other verbs which describe permanent states, like the verb be, coast, seem. Also, you can add them to the list, and you can. There is a note here, very interesting note about the stative verbs. Have, see, taste are used in progressive tenses when they express actions rather than states. As you know in English, some of the words, they have more than one meaning. So it is the same for, like example, the verb have. We can use it as an action and we can use it for stative case. Have, when you say, I have my breakfast. You can also use it in the progressive. I am having my breakfast now. Okay? It has two meaning. One of them is a stative, which is the position one, and one is in action. Also see, taste, etc. So these, you should know about these verbs. Also the verb think. Okay? Let's now go to other subjects. We have here also the present perfect simple in unit 2 and present perfect progressive. Present perfect simple المضارع التام البسيط and present perfect progressive المضارع التام المستمر. Present perfect simple, we form this by having the helping verb have or has plus verb 3, the past participle of the verb after have or has. Of course, it has to, the sentence maybe has for the singular, he has, she has, it has. Have for plural, like I have, you have, we have, they have. And then plus the verb participle after that. As we said, we use them for different kinds, some points. Present perfect simple is used for actions that happened in the past, but the exact time is not mentioned. For recently completed actions, توا خلصت أفعال already يعني. For past actions whose results are obvious, you didn't see the action, but you saw the results. For example, someone who did something, you came, but you see the result. آثار هذا العمل. We use also the present perfect. The fourth point, for actions which started in the past and continue up to the present. Emphasis on the action here. يعني أفعال بدأت في الماضي لكن استمرت إلى الحاضر. Also the last point with the adjectives in the superlative form and expressions like the only, the first, second. This is the only time and then you use the present perfect. Also, we can use the present perfect progressive in these points. We have 3 points. Of course, before we go to the present perfect progressive, we have certain words, time expressions. You should know that these words are used related to the present perfect. These words are just, ever, never, before, always, yet, already, how long, since, for, recently. Here I want to just make comments about since and for. Since, when you have a certain time, you started at a certain time, you talk about a certain time, like since 2000. Okay, but remember, you don't use the expression time for the past simple. You don't use that. You don't mix. So since 2000, we can't say in 2000. If you say in, that is past simple. For, recently, lately, so far, once, twice. You can see how many words we can use with the present perfect. Now, as I said, the present perfect progressive المضارع التام المستمر is used in these points for actions which started in the past and continue up to the present. Emphasis on the duration of the action. Okay, here we take about the time. How long? When you ask, here we come the answer. Of course, we form the present perfect progressive, has or have, plus been, and plus the verb ing. So these, the form of the verb. The second point, for actions which happened over a period of time in the past and may have finished, but the results are obvious in the present. Also to show annoyance, انزعاج, as in the present progressive, resulting from a recent action. Not now, you are making the annoyance, but a recent action. Now we will go to answer some of the questions about these things. But I want you to remember the words are related for this, like the time expressions for the present perfect progressive المضارع التام المستمر. These words are accompanied by how long, for, since. Of course, for, since, you can see the same words, but if the action, the emphasis on time, a period, then the duration, you use the present progressive. إذا التركيز كان على الزمن, in this case you use the present progressive, which is has, have, been, verb ing. But if the action is on the action, the emphasis, you go for the present perfect. All day, also one of the words you should pay attention to. Morning, all week. So all day, all morning, all week. That means a period of time. Okay? These are a period of time. Now let's go and see some of the questions to answer in your student's book, page 28. Look at here and see what are the answers for these. Grammar points we already have revised quickly in your student's book, page 28. The first sentence says, what of our new apartment? Always when you see a space, you should think about the verb. Is it a verb? Is it a noun? So it is a verb, it is a grammar. So he wants to know, think. Here the think, is it? Can we use it in the progressive when you ask about an opinion? Is he asking about an opinion here? Yes, he asking. So the answer should be C. What do you think? So here, ask about an opinion. When you ask about opinion, you should use the present simple. You can't use the present progressive. Present progressive, it is action. But here in C, think is a stative. Number 2. So the answer, I will show you the answers at the end of this class. Number 2. Tim overtime lately. So if you remember when we read the time expression words, the word lately here refer to which tense? So it is has been working. Tim has been working lately. You should pay attention to the verb and the words, the time expression. So you revise and memorize the words carefully so that you remember these words. Number 3, there is only time left before the plane takes off. Hurry up. So there is only a little time left. There is only a little time left. Number 4, Sandra won't go to school today because she has fever. So fever here, these about the articles, we use them before a noun. Is fever countable or uncountable? If it is uncountable, we use nothing. But if it is an accountable and a singular, we use a. So in this case, the answer is A. D is the answer. A fever. A fever. Okay. Number 5. My grandmother has been in the hospital for 10 days, but I haven't visited her. Okay, but I haven't visited her. Okay. Here, the tense is present perfect. Have, verb 3 visited. And it is in the negative. So here we use yet. But I haven't visited her yet. Number 5. It is A. Number 6. This is the third time if you look here, it is superlative. Do you remember when we mentioned the word superlative? We use it with the present perfect simple. So which tense is the present perfect of these? It is D. Have traveled. Number 7. This kind of quite a lot. Quite a lot. So here he is examining or testing you about knowing the word furniture. Is furniture countable or uncountable? So you should know furniture, the meaning of it. Furniture, it is athaf. Maybe sometimes it is confusing when you want to translate Arabic. Even it is very few times, but sometimes, like this furniture, I remember it is, some students say it is plural. Actually, it is singular. So the answer should be C or B. It should be B. Furniture costs. Because when it is singular, we add S to the verb in the present simple. Okay? Furniture, it is uncountable, and we use it as a singular, and we add S to the verb. Number 8. I enjoyed the trip to Edinburgh. Here, you use one like an adjective. To Edinburgh a lot. It is B, the answer. Number 9, I'm afraid the news, our team lost all 3 games in the playoffs. So here, is he happy about that? No, of course. They are losing. So he is like here, annoyance. If you remember the word annoyance, it is mentioned with the present progressive. And the present progressive here is A. Number 10 and the last, I in a lake since I was 6 years old. So since I was 6 years old. The word since and for, we use it with the present perfect and present perfect progressive. In this case, what do you choose? Of course, the action here, we focus on the action, not on the time, so we use haven't swum C. I will show you now the answers for all this. Here they are, all the answer, number 1, C, and etc. And I wrote the unit for you so that you can go back and compare the words we used. It's better to read the subject before you answer them again so that you know when and how you use the present simple, present progressive, and present perfect simple, and present perfect progressive. These are the tenses. You find them in Module 1, which is Unit 1 and 2. Thank you for watching and listening. That's all I have for you today in our English lesson about grammar revision for the final exam. And you are welcome to ask about anything through our official channels of Al-Manhaj schools and groups on WhatsApp. We all care about you. Thank you again.